We're live! Hey guys, welcome back to class. I'm your host, Jason, joined by Cassidy and Gage. They're helping out with Explorations class. So today, this is Explorations in Rhythm B and adult class, because you guys got a lot of things in common and stuff. All right, so if you've been keeping up, if you've been coming to class like a good student, you know that we have been talking about percussion instruments that come from the country of Brazil. Okay, cool. Just checking. All right, so they come from Brazil, and this is our third in a three-part series of these Brazilian instruments. So when we got together the first time, we talked about those big bass drums that are called surdo. We talked about the instrument that the leader plays called the repanque. And then the second episode focused on a lot of those smaller instruments that add different accents and rhythmic color and melody to the group. Things like the agogo bells, the kashishi. We talked about the hoka and the tambourine. I think that was everything that we covered. I got them in front of me on the floor, actually. So yes, that is what we covered. And then today we're going to put all of that stuff together. So let's go ahead and get warmed up. So I got some beats here, once again, programmed by DJ Gage. All right, so we're going to play our beats. When you hear the music, go to your set position. We're going to play through 8 on a hand. And then last week we learned something that we call accent tap. So we're going to do that. If you weren't here, don't worry, we'll catch you up. So go ahead, get yourself ready. And let's just play along on legs for this now. And then if you've got some other instruments, we can grab them in a minute. So go ahead, get yourself kind of cleared, get a good space where you can sit at your ready position. When you hear the beats, go to your set position and then just follow me. I'll lead you after that. Okay. I like it. All right, so we're set position. The first exercise is 8 on a hand. So it's just like it says. We hit 8 times, 8 eighth notes on the right hand, the left hand, the right hand, the left hand. And then we alternate back and forth to play 16th notes. We'll do 4 complete times through the exercise. We call that 4 sets. All right, get ready. 1, 2, ready and go. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. 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 6, 8, 4. 1, 2, to the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Now the 16ths go like 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Yeah, nice and easy, back and forth. All right, we're on the third set. Here we go. All right, last set. All right, so that was 8 on a hand. Get yourself ready. Next exercise is accent tap. So we said the accents are those notes that are louder, and the taps are the little tiny soft notes. So for the accents, we're going to bring our hand up high. The taps, down low, and just tap your hand. 4 accents, 4 taps. Right hand, left hand, over and over. All right, set position. 1 and 2 and ready, here we go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Accents and taps. Accents and taps. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3. See if you can count out loud with us. Here we go. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and accents, and taps. All right, so we're going to move on. So we've been talking about all those different instruments from Brazil. We've been putting them together. So now what I want to do today is give you a chance to decide which your favorite is. If you've been following along, then hopefully you have not only learned the different rhythms that we were doing, but we also talked about some really cool ways that you can improvise at home and make your own versions of these instruments. So we said on day one of the Brazilian studies that you could take some big trash cans and use those as your surdus, big buckets, something big. If you've got a drum set, you could use the toms on your drum set, things like that. We talked about how for like these agogo bells that look like this, you could maybe make some like Cassidy did with her wee drummers, some little tiny cans right there, or different stuff. You can use all kinds of stuff. And then these tambourines, the little drums, you said that you could make your own out of, do you guys remember what it was Cassidy used? She did these with coffee cans. So it's one of those big coffee cans for your parents to drink a lot of coffee, like me. All right. Yeah. You drink coffee? Of course she does. All right. And we used the metal ones to make some really cool instruments. But for this one, we had to cut it. So we didn't want to use metal. That'd be sharp and dangerous. So we used the cardboard ones. So we cut those down and we just taped around the side just to make it look cool, but also to help keep that plastic lid on there. And then this thing right here, it's just a little chopstick. You could use a pencil. So find something that you can use at home. And we're going to switch back and forth today between the authentic Brazilian instruments and some of the homemade variations. So find your different instruments. If you don't have them together yet, go ahead, run around the house, gather what you can. Find something to play on. Remember, at the very least, you can always use your hands and your legs and stuff like that. But find something if you can. And we're just going to start putting some of these together so that we can hear how they sound in combination with other instruments. And we call that an ensemble, when we put the different instruments and the different players together to make a group, basically a band. Ensemble is what we call it. That's just a fancy word for a group, okay? So you can have an ensemble of any instrumentation. It's just a group. So this is going to be our percussion ensemble, and specifically it's going to be a Brazilian percussion ensemble. So this is sometimes called Escola de Samba. So this is like the samba school, okay? So that's what we call this. So we're going to put some different things together. So why don't we do this? I'm going to get this chair out of the way, and I'm going to let Cassidy kind of move back to the surdus. If you've seen us do any live stuff with our percussion ensemble and stuff like that, when the faculty are playing, Cassidy usually holds down the bass. She's got the surdu. So she's doing the job of 3 different people back there with her surdu. So we'll get her going with the surdu. And then how about Gage, you and I, we can just kind of switch off with some different instruments. So how about, why don't you start with the tambourine? I'll take the agogo bells. And what I'd like you guys to do at home is just play along with us, one of these 3. And again, if you've been following class and taking your notes and stuff, then go ahead, bring that stuff out, all of your music. We're going to use the same rhythms that we've talked about. Remember, we said there's lots of different things that you can do with these. So we're going to use the rhythms that we taught you last week. And we're going to switch around. So this is a chance for you to follow Gage on the tambourine, chance for you to follow me on the agogo bells. And if you're feeling real fancy, try to do all 3 drums like Cassidy, or you can just do one of those 3. So she's going to do all 3, so you can pick what you want to do. So let's just start by building it up. I'm going to start from the ground up. We'll get Cassidy going first, and then Gage will play the next set of rhythms. After he's going for a little while, I'll come in with the agogo bells, so you can hear how they all stack on top of each other very nicely. And the idea is that every time we add a new instrument, it just makes the music a little bit more exciting. All right, so let's start with Cassidy on the surdus. 1, 2, ready, go. So she's going to keep that going. And then on top of that, Gage is going to play his rhythm that kind of cuts in between all that and kind of pushes everybody forward. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Yeah, so go ahead and follow along with Gage. All right, and then the go-go bells, kind of, I like to think of them as the dancers. And they're going to be the melody that dances along with everything else. It's high, high, low, low, high, high, low, low, high, high, low, low, high, high, low. All right, here we go with the go-go's. 1, 2, go, go, go. So you had some surdos, some tambourines, some go-go's. Oh, wait, there's more. All right, so Gage, why don't we swap those up? You want to play Cassidy?
Sure.
All right, so Gage is going to grab the Cassidy. I'm going to get, remember what this is? Hoka. This is a Hoka. All right, so we'll get going with those. Do the same thing as last time. We'll start with Cassidy because she's like our foundation. Okay, so the foundation is the groundwork. Okay, so if the foundation isn't steady, everything else falls apart. So we're going to start with her so we can really hear our foundation. And then I'll go ahead and add my Hoka next. That's the one that's going to play 1 Iana, 2 Iana, 1 Iana, 2 Iana. It never stops. It just kind of keeps going and it has that kind of, I like to think of it as being kind of like the peanut butter that holds the peanut butter and jelly sandwich together. I don't know, the cheese and the mac and cheese. I don't know, the glue, whatever. But it's going to keep going. Everybody can listen into the Hoka. And then Gage is going to play what we call the offbeats. And he's going to play those syncopated notes, the part that kind of sounds a little funky. He's got the 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. So he's got the offbeats. So listen for those. All right, Cassidy, you good?
Yep.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, sir, do. All right, so here comes the Hoka. 1 and a 2 and a ready, go. All right, get ready for the Cassidy. Remember those that come after the number. 1, 2, Cassidy, go. 1 Hoka, Cassidy. All right, so we've covered a bunch of different instruments. This time, it's time to put them together. So let's see. How are we going to do this? How about, I'm going to go to the Epaniki. All right,
Gage
so
is
this,
going to play all that.
Yeah.
and then, yeah, Gage, I don't know how you're going to do it, but I have faith in you. I think you can figure it out. All right, so Gage is going to switch around. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to try to play every single instrument that he does. So when he switches to another instrument, he's going to stay on it for a little while. And I want you to see if you can keep that going, whatever he's playing, okay? Do we want to tell him the order first, or they just got to pay attention?
Follow, man.
All right, you got to pay attention. I thought he was going to help you out. You're on your own. All right, so grab your different instruments. And remember, you can go back and rewind this. And then just like after you make some of these and you have the whole arsenal, you got the whole battery, get your family going and stuff, then you can have all the different instruments, rewind it and play it together. So we're going to do it a few times. And then again, we're going to go back in just a couple minutes and we're going to play with all the homemade recycled kind of instruments, things like you might have at home. So here we go. Here's the first version. We're going to do that intro and the ending. I taught you this a couple weeks ago. So just a quick refresher. The intro sounds like this. Da 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 da. Boom boom. You guys are the goo gooms, okay? And that happens 2 times in a row. The third measure is a little quicker, and the fourth measure is the same. So let me just sing it all real quick and see if you can follow along with me, and then we'll play it together. So I'll just sing it real quick. Here I go. Da 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 boom boom. Ra ba da 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 boom boom. Ra boom boom. Ra boom boom. Ra ba da 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 go go. We even said that the numbers would be 1, 2, 3, a 4. 1, 2, 3, a 4. 1, a 2, 3, a 4. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. And then we'll go into the music. All right, so we're going to take it from the top. We're going to play that intro. When it's time to end, I'm going to give you the signal. Makes a lot of noise when we put all these instruments together. So we have to use nonverbal communication. That means we're going to communicate without words. It doesn't matter if I say it, you'll never hear it. So you got to be watching. When you see me throw my fist in the air, I'm not mad at you. Okay, that's just my way of saying, last time, get ready. We're about to end. Keep going. Don't stop right away. But this is just me telling you, get ready. It's about to end. And then I'll give you 1, 2, 3, 4, sta da 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 goo goo, ra ba da 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 boom boom, rap boom boom, rap boom boom, ra ba da 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 da, and we freeze to the end. All right, so we start and stop the same way. Hope you got all that. Here we go. From the top, here I go. So what I'd like to do real quick is we're going to do a real fast set change, and we're going to move to some of those instruments that we said that you probably have at home. So I'm going to put my real tepaniki down here. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to grab my bucket tepaniki, and you can grab whatever you have created, whatever you've collected and found around the house, and we're going to play together again. So cool. Grab your stuff.
We're doing this
That's
so
my set change
gracefully.
Set change music. I don't know what that is. All right, so cool. Let's see. You're hanging out right here. All right, so you got Gage in the center so you can see him. You got Cassidy over there. All right, so let's see what everybody's got. I already mentioned that I'm going to be playing the bucket. This is one of our Artisphere buckets that we used for some of our events. So we got that. And then for the surdos, looks like Cassidy's got some trash cans and a bucket there. Cool. So it's important that when you select your trash cans that you get the right pitch, okay? You got to have some different pitches. And Gage has the homemade tambourine, and then he's got the homemade go-go that he'll pull out in a minute, the kashishi, and the hoka. So go ahead, grab your instruments. Let's do this again. We're going to take it from the top, and that'll give you a little more time to practice that intro and the ending. Let me sing it one more time so we can do that together. So here we go. I'm going to count it off. 1, 2, here I go. Da ga da da ga da da, goo goo. Da ga da da ga da da, goo goo. Da da do do, da da do do. Da ga da da ga da da. Let's go, and then we go into the groove. All right. So let's try that, and then at the end, remember you're going to get the signal, kind of the universal signal for let's wrap it up. All right. And when you see that, it doesn't mean to stop right away, but it just means to kind of get ready. And then I'll kind of count you down. I'll try to use my fingers if I can. So 1, 2, 3, 4, stop it. Da, 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 go, go. Da, 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 go, go. Da, boom, boom, da, boom, boom. Just like that. All right, here we go. Our grand finale. Before we head out, I just want to thank you guys very much for hanging out with us and adapting to our new format. We miss you guys terribly. It's not at all the same to have an empty studio. Love these guys. Certainly appreciate all of our teachers, Cassidy, Gage, and Lainey and Troy, and then Leslie behind the scenes there as well, helping out to do everything they can to kind of make these videos and create a new format for you. It's just is not the same, but we hope that you guys have enjoyed it and found a nice break in your time at home to do this. So keep watching the videos, keep plugging away. Don't forget, we've got lots of other videos on our YouTube channel as well for your classes and for all the classes. So if you saw anything over the last several weeks that you liked, maybe you saw one of the drum set classes or one of Cassidy's explorations in rhythm A or wee drum or marimba and more, whatever it was, if there was something you liked, go ahead, check out the other videos that are in those playlists. And then as soon as we're back together again, we'd love for you to join us for real in-person for class. So cool. We're going to take it out with our COVID-19 samba, drum percussion studio samba. Here we go. From the top. Here we go. 1, 2, here I go. along with us, guys. Make sure that you share if you got to do any of these instruments and make some music at home and stuff. We'd love to see a video or a picture of what you guys have done. So share that with us. Send us a note. We love to know that you're out there watching and everything. And we'll see you very soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.